Okay, so it is Friday. It is about 3 degrees. It's bloody cold. My hands are freezing. But we are warmed up, and it is Friday, which means it is Friday Flicks. Main goal for today is just have a bit of a shakedown from the gym yesterday. Been doing a lot of stuff to try and help with my flicking, a lot of weighted Russian twists to really strengthen that twisting motion that we get. Mostly going to be looking at what's feeling better today, whether it is Grace with a slightly thicker head and no groove in the shaft, or the old Phantoms, which much more aggressive head and just a little bit of a groove inside. I've got some other sticks I'm going to have a mess around with as well, but these two are the main ones to play with. I have kind of settled with swapping away from the sort of 38 inch, 38 and a half down to back to the 37s. Even now the Phantom's still a little bit taller without dodgy end caps. So yeah, we're just going to give them a good little grip and rip and see what happens. We've got a game in Canterbury tomorrow, which will be the first league game back, which will be good fun. I've not played in Canterbury since pre-COVID, back when I was in secondary school. So yeah, we'll give it a go. We're going to start light as per usual and sort of ramp up. And got 4 balls, so we're just going to be alternating high and low. And also technique, I found really not having a preference for either, especially Tuesday night was swapping around between the two, and then on our friendly a couple of weeks back against the 3s, I've been favouring for a long time the sort of orthodox pickup, but our short that came out was sort of bang on everything perfect, so I thought I'd try and take it in hook, and works an absolute charm. So, and just to say again, the 4s beat the 3s in that one, so I'm going to give it a go. We are going to start with Phantom, I think, and we're going to go for, yeah, just swapping around between the grips. Okay, so that's on 16 down. What we're finding, 1, my hands are still very cold, but 2, pitch today, it's a little bit grippy, which partly to me rushing actually as well, but the pickups and the hook are proving a little bit difficult. I've had quite a few of those slip out on me there. And I think something else I always forget to say when I'm practicing, quite often, you know, if I hit top corners when I'm aiming high, that's brilliant. You know, it looks really flashy and great and all that. But the main thing I'm focusing on with my flicking is actually just how far to the sides of the goal it goes. I think that's the easiest way to score. I had an entire season where I'd aim mid-height on my left, keeper and postman's right hand side, and I got maybe 11, 12 goals that season just in that same spot, because it was just over to the side and going for the side netting. So I think there's a lot to be said for that. Of course, I'm trying to find one to keep consistently, you know, low on the floor as well, just in case we are going for a little deflection option. But when I'm trying to go high, I'm not always, if I don't roof it, I'm not mad. Obviously I'm trying to roof it because that's cool, and you know, gives you kudos points on the pitch if you absolutely rifle one into the top corner. But yeah, so that's where I'm going with that. The orthodox pickups today are feeling really nice actually. Even, you know, still a bit cold and not fully loose and limber yet, they're picking up really quite nicely and they're coming out really well. So that's 16 with the Phantom, and we'll go do 16 with the Grace, and then we'll, yeah, see where we're going to go from there. Something that actually really interested me on Tuesday night as I was there So I'm normally down at my sessions like 45 minutes early to essentially do the same as this. Because and that's how I've done it for, well, I've been doing this for what feels like a decade, probably almost is. He said, I think I'm becoming more of a trapper than I am with anything else at the moment. And it was kind of weird because he really enjoys drag flicking, he really enjoys practicing doing it, and he's not bad. But I don't know, it felt like it was diminishing trappers a little bit, and I think that actually they are incredibly vital parts of the team. I've had good trappers, I've had bad trappers, I've had trappers that if the ball isn't coming, straight onto the end of their stick, they ain't touching it, they're going to leave it. And then on the contrast, I've also had guys that would almost dive 2 yards to the left or throw themselves back to get a trap on the right. And if you've got guys that are willing to do that, they are really good, which allows you to get the shots off, because there's no point being able to flick well if you can't get the ball stopped. But also, something I wish I remembered to say on Tuesday, when I was learning to flick, I don't think I was consistently flicking in games for a good 3-4 years at least. I spent a whole season setting up left slip for one of my teams down here, and I think I got the ball once in that entire season at left slip. So it takes a very long time to become a consistent flicker in team, because it takes a very long time to be a consistent flicker. I'm still not a consistent flicker. I mean, I've come back after a few years of not really playing all that much, and it's been why I've been trying to do so many of these individual sessions, because I was really bad when I came back, and I had, what, 4 or 5 shorts on goal that weren't really great flicks at all, and other people should have taken them. But luckily, I had a team that was willing to sort of give me the time to get better, and now I found a bit of a groove with it. So yeah, that's stuck in my head. It takes a long time. I don't want people to give up on it, because you can be in a team where we've got 3-4 guys that can flick. I'm lucky enough to be the one that gets picked to be option 1 and route 1. But who knows what team I'm going to be in next season? Who knows what team they're going to be in next season? Or who's going to be fit, who's on the pitch to play, who's been subbed off. Having options is always a great opportunity, especially, I mean, we set up with one castle, we've been talking about doing 2 for a few weeks now. So there's always options, you always want to keep your options open. But anyway, I found with Grace, it's lovely as ever. My only real worry with this stick is I'm not used to having such a large head, and I chuck a lot of aerials, and I chuck aerials that go quite long, and I need them to come off nicely, which is really easy with Phantom because it's so aggressive and I can just get straight onto the ball. It feels a little, I know I can chuck them with this stick, no problem, and it's so light, it's unbelievably light, this stick. But yeah, that's the only worry, but because it feels a bit nice to flick with at the moment. So we're going to go, and we're actually going to try, go grab it off the wall, my other grades, which is the concave stick, which is a bit like the Phantom. It's not a very aggressive groove in it, however it is quite high up, so it's back. Really the sort of deepest point is actually about here, and obviously you can see where I tape it as to how far I normally move the ball. I don't move it a whole lot, but I haven't properly flicked with this since I've gone back to a more orthodox pickup, so I'm going to give this a go. I don't quite know if we'll do 16 like we have the other ones, I might only do 8, but see how it feels. It feels really nice, we'll keep it going. I've also got Blast from the Past, I've got my ritual with me, which is a much more aggressive groove than the others, just because I wanted to give it a bit of run out today. It is knackered and it's not in game condition, but it will be fun, if nothing else, and it will be learning material, which is what these sessions are all about, is learning and figuring things out. So anyway, that was a long couple of minutes there. So, bit of fun, bit difficult to flick with it. Obviously it does still have really late bow, and it's slightly more aggressive on the head than non-concave grace. It's just as light, but I'm not noticing much. I tried to pull a couple up there and it wasn't really coming out particularly nicely. The action felt fine, but I didn't really notice much difference there. So, fun little game. Nice one to practice with every now and again, but definitely not a main playing stick, I don't think, this one. Although credit to Grace, those sticks have stood test of time. I've had these a few years and they are still pretty much brand new. So anyway, I was mentioning about castles earlier, so we're going to do a bit of work off Castle 1 and Castle 2, and I do find the best way to practice is actually shifting between them. So if I'm taking practice flicks off 2, I'll actually stand behind where 1 would be, and we will go across and flick from there. I just find that a little more easy to practice. I'm not entirely sure why, but also fun practice for really just deceiving people. If we do go to it, or if I do play in a team that does it, then that option of running about on top of the D to confuse people is there, which is more fun than anything else, really. So yeah, we're going to go to flicks off 1 and 2. Probably do half and half with both sticks actually, and then we'll have a little break, have another little chat, and then we'll have a bit of a mess about with Ritual, see how it feels, because it's been 6 years odd. Yeah, I'll show you how I'm going to set up for this practice. So I've got 2 sticks down in line with sort of where our castles are going to be, just so I can work with the sort of space requirements from Castle 2, because when we did try, we actually found that was difficult because we set up too close. So just practice to work with. Although in a game, of course, Castle 1, if it is coming to 2, it's going to run away or stay. I don't really know, depends on the team. But anyway, that's how we're setting up. Going balls there and picking up by the sticks, and just keeping ourselves in there. Okay, so I don't think that went too badly. A few more misses off that left castle and one at the end there off the right. Yeah, that left one, so used to thinking I can just go straight down the gun and it'll slip inside the post, but obviously not. So yeah, getting a bit of sweat on now. My arm is starting to go a little bit, so I don't think I'll do too much longer. I've already been down there 40 minutes. So I think we'll change sticks up. I'll just keep going. I'm trying to put them low today, very few. I'm trying to go high. Obviously I think low left for me is going to be the best spot to aim. A lot of teams now are running a 3-1. So they've got 2 runners coming out the right side of the goal from where I'm looking at it, which sort of leaves that left channel nice and wide open. If they're running a 2-2, it's a little more free choice. So yeah, anyway, we'll do a few with Cabo and then we'll think about maybe wrapping up. I'll do a couple with Ritual actually as well, but then yeah, time to wrap up soon. Okay, we're going to do a couple with the old Ritual Specialist 95 from years ago. It's light as anything, I don't know if it's got many grips on it at all. Cracked, coming through the head, but we're just going to give it a go with a few, and then we're going to go back, we're going to do last few with Phantom, and then we'll call it a day. So I reckon maybe 4 or 8 with this one, and then we'll go. Well, it was a trip down memory lane, and you can tell the groove on this one is so much deeper. If the ball sits in it, you really notice. You really feel like you almost feel like you're carrying it like a foot off the ground. But I don't know how I used to flick consistently with this thing. To try and pick a side is really difficult, but it's good fun. I do miss these. The Richie was lovely actually. All of their sticks were top notch. So, anyway, trip down memory lane done. You can go a few high to end the day with the 38 Phantom.